to watch Ron White retire.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
It was, because you don't. It really struck me that you don't see comedians do that.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
It was kind of nice. Like,
it's refreshing.
He just made his mind and had a great run, and this is very cool. And rather than just peter out and keep doing weird gigs, like there was a nobility to it.
I respect it. Johnny Carson did it.
Yeah.
And nobody ever judged him. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're now in this era where if you don't keep working, you don't keep getting on social media, people are like, why did you just, fold our book. Like Johnny Carson quit and we never saw him again except at Wimbledon.
Right.
You see him, but that was even rare.
Yeah.
Like you never even saw him. Like he's out in Malibu somewhere and
on a boat.
But as a Midwest person, all dads retired at 65.
Right.
And moms too.
Yeah.
Like that's when you should quit working.
Right.
You're done now. You don't. So Ron came up during the pandemic for like a while, like 3 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but also there's a golf course by my house, so he can put his tour bus up there, and he doesn't have to live in my house. He did, but then I'm like, when I got sick of him, I'm like, can you go to your bus for a while? Like, get out of here. But we were sitting on the deck one night, and every day we'd golfed.
Right.
During the pandemic, because we're in Nashville, Tennessee, nobody, well, first of all, golf's outside.
Yeah.
But even in the clubhouse, there's an outdoor, you could sit there and have beers and we wave at the people at the next table. Like, we were still having a great time. It wasn't like LA or New York where it was like full on.
Yeah.
We were just doing this stuff we normally do with no pandemic.
Right. Just like, not the touring part.
No, we're just going to get in the fishing boat. We're going to go, nobody, who's got, right? But he goes, isn't it amazing how seamlessly we've slipped into retirement and don't even care? He goes, I think the show part was the only part preventing me from true fun. And I said, that getting in the shower at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
That part when you were on a boat in Seattle looking at all the cool water houses and stuff, and then you're like, shit, I got to go back because I got a thing. We love traveling.
Mm-hmm.
But the show part, and Ron's like, at some point, I'm just out of shit to say. And I respect that. Yeah. At some point, we are all out of shit to say. Not a David Bowie, not a Sting, but I'm never that. Yeah. I'm, the lady in the middle. Like, I got enough to scoop me through here.
Here's some funny stuff.
I'm good. Like, I think it's normal.
It is normal, but it's no one. You don't see that. Not in comedy.
Not in entertainment.
Right.
Because the musician people. Right. They're 75, and I love Stevie Nicks. But what? Really?
Well, the other weird thing now that you're saying it is that
the rock people don't quit.
They don't.
Nope. They die.
Yeah. Because there's.
Well, Ron goes.
Because their life is like there's. They don't know like what the other life is. It's got to be so foreign. But it's weird though, because think about it though, because it's weird because they went home way more than we did. A lot more. So
like, okay, Fleetwood Mac. Right. What'd you all do with your year and a half off while you were fighting?
Right.
We never had that except COVID because we were forced to.
Yeah, that was the only time.
But what did you all do?
Or maybe they hated it.
They might have. Aerosmith, all these bands that like would reappear, then appear, then every time my mom would go, I think you should have a new special. You haven't had one since whatever 2018. I go, Mom, Sade didn't have an album for 12 years, and her mom didn't bitch at her. And she's like, who? What? I'm like, I knew that sentence would be confusing. But just trust me, I'm right. There are not that I'm Sade. Yeah. But I think those people had more time off than we've ever had. Yeah. And they can't live without the road. Yeah. Look at them all. Yeah. Billy Joel. These are people over.
Foreigner, Def Leppard. I mean, it goes on and on. Oh. Even like the Temptations.
Well, now it's like their grandkids, and nobody even knows. Nobody cares. Nobody knows. Like, here's the, right.
Smokey Robinson.
Comedians, though, think about it. You could only keep going, I think, until over 75 if you were a legend. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I guess you could keep going, but it wouldn't be pretty. Yeah. If you're Don Rickles, Joan Rivers, but you had to be like a mega star. Right. But even Ron, so people that might not know. So Ron White was one of the blue collar guys. It was like him and Larry the Cable Guy and Foxworthy and then Bill Engvall. All very, very famous in their own time and space. But like Ron's like, there comes a time when it winds down. And you need to know when the time is winding down. And I respect, because let's say he had kept going. It's going to get weird.
Yeah.
Because his fans, he doesn't have the next group and the next group.
Right.
Because he didn't do a podcast. He didn't.
Yeah.
He was riding off that.
Right.
Well, those people are also 65.
Right.
And so at 75, are they going to want to go out?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
You have to be a mega star to keep doing that.
Right. Or have another hit with another generation.
Right. But how do you do that?
Right. No, it was cool. It was a cool thing. And it's cool because it's kind of like it's like when you watch your favorite sports guys, like when they go out at the right time, it's so great.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't have to see Fat Ali getting punched in the face.
No, we don't want to see all that. No, even my favorite sportscasters, Bob Lee, ESPN. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like the Disney thing, and he got a trophy. He's like, yeah, I'm good.
Right.
But I respected that. Like,
it's
do you
cool.
want to keep going in the?
Yeah.
If you have the money.
Right.
Like Ron's got the money. Like,
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know I'll have the money by then. Like,
he's good.
What? We had a really serious talk about it one night. He was like, I think I'm just done, Maddie. I think I'm just done. I go, this is a very just easy question. Do you ever want to spend in your life because he got freaked out by Norm Macdonald dying and Bob Saget dying. Ron really got shaken by that. He goes, I don't ever want to be found dead in a hotel. I go, I don't ever want to be found dead. Let's stop that sentence right there. I don't know what that was all about. Like, I know. You just think you're going to be, I hope somebody's there.
I know. Like, I just did a bit about this when I was in Wisconsin, and I was -8, and I was in the parking garage and the ticket wouldn't work, and I literally just did a run about Tom Papa was found frozen in the parking garage. Dead. I don't want to be found dead.
Right. Anywhere.
Anywhere.
I want somebody with me when I die. I don't care who it is. It could be the neighbor.
Found Kathleen.
We found. I don't want to be found. That means I was alone. Things got really weird. Like,
it was a mistake.
I said, okay, Ron, you're 65.
Yeah.
So these other guys have all died. Time is limited on Earth.
Yeah.
His dad died super young. He's clearly past that like heart attack deal range, if you want to say that's a thing. His mom's alive in 87 or something. So okay, you might have her longevity, but you didn't behave the way she behaved. Right? You behaved quite poorly. You get a lot of nuns slashing on that.
Yeah.
I go, just answer this one question. Would you ever want to spend one more day of your life in, and then fill in the blank, Toledo, Ohio?
Uh-huh.
He goes, no. I go, how about Dayton? No. And I just rattled off 100 cities. It's not specific to those.
I was just going to say, I'm going to Dayton next week.
It's not just Ohio.
I know what you mean.
He goes, no. I go, then why would you stay on the road?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, what about for the people?
Huh?
What about for the people?
Oh, Ron don't care about that. No, Ron doesn't give a flying shit. Because Ron would go, I gave them 30 years of my life, and I told them every story that was true and embarrassing and humiliating. And he's right.
Yeah.
I feel like he's right. The people enjoy you. One person that I always really, really enjoyed was Chris Christopherson. I know it's old school. It's old school. And I got to see him in Nashville like 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And he came out and he said, I'm Chris. Basement East, 250 stand-up club. Uh-huh. It's a club. And he's like, and then he just started singing, well, I woke up Sunday morning. And that's the albums of my parents' eras. And I couldn't believe I was seeing the guy.
Yeah.
And then he just said last year, I'm done now.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's something wrong with him. Whatever the case.
Whatever the case.
Things.
Declaring that you're done is very interesting.
I like it. I think it takes the position of, I've decided this.
Right. That's exactly it.
I don't want
maybe you're onto something there, because it's
I don't want time or ticket sales to tell me that.
Right. 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 But because all of our career, like you're saying, like we never, like the tour, what do you mean the tour? It's been a nonstop, never ending thing.
35 years.
That, which in the beginning, it's like you have to say yes to every single thing just to keep the momentum to get to the point where you are now, going to play nice places and have the specialists come out.
And now we're older and all we do is fold for old people coming backstage. That's
so then,
we
right.
made
so
it to
no
theaters.
decisions. No.
We made it to theaters, and now we're just bombarded. Now here's the thing: you're not going to have 2 shows tonight at the Funny Bone, Kathleen. You're going to have your parents with 60 people. Tom, your mom and dad have arranged for some friends to come quote see you.
Yeah. So no decisions have been our own. Is my point.
Ever.
So for Ron to do it, it was actually just watching a comic actually take agency.
Yeah, and say, no, I'll tell you all.
Yeah.
And if you have the money, but this is something like I would say to Leno's face. I would say to Jay, he still does corporate gigs.
Yeah.
Why? They're the most horrible things on earth. Everybody knows that. Yeah. Some are not.
Some are okay.
Some are super fun. Yeah. Actually, I've had super fun ones. Yeah. I've had okay ones, and then horrible.
Right.
Now, I've never had horrible in a club, and I've never had horrible in a theater. They're the only dynamic that can throw that into the bundle.
Good point.
But the fact that Leno, and I've said it to him.
Yeah.
I go, Jay, really? You're still doing corporate gigs? Like, that's my goal, to never have to do a corporate, meaning that I think, well, that'd be really good in my 401k, right? Like, I need that for my retirement. Like, that's quick, easy money, like a whore. Like, and he's like, yeah, but to pay money. And then I think there's just something so innately different between you and I.
Yeah.
I don't have whatever that is.
But he's always, legend is he's always been a locomotive. He's always been this...
Money. He likes money.
Yeah.
But he does like the jokes too, which I appreciate.
Yes, he does. And for whatever, you know, you don't know what his personal life is, but there are people that just work as the only place where they feel kind of safe and sane. you know?
I think
what I mean?
It's his like, well, I would say to Jay's face, I'm like, dude, you're on a spectrum, right? Like, I would say that you have 4 shirts are all the same. I have a nephew who's autistic. Like, you have 4 pairs of pants are all the same. You don't like fabrics.
Yeah.
You're at, like, you only like cars. He's socially strange. Mavis, his wife, is 1,000% more spot on. I'm like, I go with Mavis. If this thing divorces, I'm going with Mavis. She's smart. She's social. She's like, she makes up for him.
Right.
But I also see why she likes him. Like, he's sweet.
He does, and he does love the jokes.
And I will defend Jay to the day.
Yeah, he came on during the pandemic. He came on my radio show, and that was the only way to do it, like Zooming. And he came on, and he was the only comedian who came on loaded with jokes. It's like he had been...
No kidding.
It's
I bet he'd been waiting.
He had been collecting jokes, and I thought, like, where am I going to take the conversation? What are we going to talk about?
Right.
And there was none of that. It was
bam, bam,
bam, bam, bam, bam, bam, and it was great. It really was great. Yeah, everybody's an oddball.
Yeah, but he's... Like, you know what he is? He's ritualistic too, like, because my nephew's one of my nephews is autistic, so I've researched and benefits and all that stuff, so I have a kind of a super eye on that, and like, even when Jay comes to Comedy Magic Club, 24 chicken wings, like, the menu doesn't differ,
right?
Like, you ever want salmon? Nope. Like, he's a ritual guy. The ritual and I mean, he'd probably be like, Kathleen, I'm not, well, how old are you? Were we talking about these spectrum things back then? Like,
right, there weren't even
I'm just saying, I think Mavis would agree with me. The guy's a little off.
Yeah.
But he's sweet.